Good morning, everyone. This is Emily, and welcome to your daily 10 minutes of Cafe English. It is Wednesday, May 20th.
And I am Lisa. Happy Wednesday, you all. Emily, can I share a tiny realization?
Please, I am ready.
Wednesday is like the top of the hill.
Oh, the midweek summit. You climb, and on Wednesday you can finally see the other side.
Exactly. Monday and Tuesday were uphill, and now I can see Friday from here.
That is such a Lisa way to describe it. Standing on the ridge, waving at the weekend.
I am, waving very politely, just a little wave.
And funny enough, today's stories are all about reaching a marker.
Oh, that fits my hilltop mood.
Topic 1. SpaceX is about to launch their biggest rocket ever, possibly while we are recording this.
Wait, while we're talking?
Wild timing. Pretty much. Topic 2. Anthropic rolled out a version of Claude built for small business owners.
Oh, finally! Small businesses usually get the leftover software.
Exactly the point. And topic 3, an angler in Florida pulled in a catfish so big it broke a state record from 11 years ago.
11 years! That number is doing a lot of work.
Keyword today is milestone.
Milestone. I love that one. It sounds like a stone you actually touch on the way up.
That's the image. 3 different climbs today, 3 different markers. 3 stones on 3 different paths. If you're new here, we're 10-minute daily cafe chat. 3 real stories every morning, no textbook, no rush. Just the English you'd use over coffee. Hit subscribe so tomorrow's chat is waiting for you. Thanks for being here. Let's start with a rocket on a launch pad in Texas. Take me up. Okay, topic 1. SpaceX is about to launch their next generation rocket, and the timing is intense.
How intense?
The launch is set for 6:30 in the evening, Texas time, on May 19th. So depending on when you hear this, it has either just happened or it is happening right now.
Wait, so we're recording without knowing the result?
We are. By the time you hear this, the news will tell you how it went. Fingers crossed for the team.
Oh, that gives me chills. Real-time history.
Right? And here's what makes this one special. It's the debut of Starship version 3, a completely redesigned vehicle. So this is not just another flight. This is a first flight. Exactly. They call it Flight 12, and it's also the first launch from their brand new pad. A new rocket and a new pad on the same day. A lot of firsts. It really is. And the scale broke my brain.
Hit me with the number.
The full stack is 408 feet tall. 408 feet? Taller than most skyscrapers in my city. Officially, the tallest rocket ever built. Okay, so we're casually doing tallest in history. Casually. And the engines? This is wild. 33 of them firing at the same time. 33? All at once? How does that not shake the ground apart? That's the engineering challenge. They redesigned the engines, the fuel lines, almost everything. So this is not a small upgrade, more like a clean restart. A clean restart, yes. And the mission is ambitious. They're sending up 22 dummy satellites and trying to relight an engine in orbit. Relight in orbit. Sounds small, but I imagine it's huge. It's huge. That technology is what unlocks the moon and eventually Mars. So this flight is a milestone toward going back to the moon. That's exactly the framing. The booster splashes down in the Gulf. The ship aims for the Indian Ocean about an hour later. No fancy catch landing this time? Not this time. They're playing it careful. Just get the data and iterate. I respect that. A new vehicle deserves a humble first flight. Right? Whatever happens tonight, the milestone is real. A taller rocket, more engines, a new pad, all standing up at once. We'll see what happens. I'm refreshing the news the second we wrap. All right, topic 2. Last week, Anthropic launched a version of Claude built specifically for small businesses. Oh, that is interesting. Not for big companies, not for individuals. Right in the middle, companies with 15 to 50 employees.
Okay, very specific. Why that range?
Because that is the layer software usually skips. There's a famous line from the announcement that captures it.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Their head of small business said, quote, "The software industry has been built for big companies and for consumers, but not for the 15-person heating and cooling company."
Oh, wow.
That sentence is doing so much work, right? She named the exact business that gets overlooked.
I can picture the owner doing books at midnight on the kitchen table.
That's literally what their president said, too. She said it helps take the late-night work off their plates.
That image, the late-night kitchen table, I felt that in my soul.
Same. And here's what they built. Claude now connects directly into 7 tools small businesses already use. 7. Walk me through them. QuickBooks for accounting, PayPal for payments, HubSpot for customers, plus a few more like Canva, DocuSign, and the big office suites. Honestly, that's almost the whole stack of a small business. Pretty much. And it runs 15 agentic workflows, sending an invoice, drafting a contract, answering a customer email. So instead of you doing the boring stuff, it just does it through the apps you already pay for. Exactly. And the pricing details surprised me. No extra charge. No extra charge? So if you already have Claude, this just opens up? That's the milestone. Usually, this kind of software costs another monthly fee. So the barrier to try it is basically 0. That changes who shows up. And they're doing something rare. Free in-person workshops in 10 cities starting May 14th. Real workshops, not just a webinar. Real ones. Chicago, Dallas, and 8 more cities on the tour. That tells you who they're actually reaching, the owner who would never click a tech ad. Exactly. The mom-and-pop shop, the local agency, the small repair company.
And the scale of that audience is huge, right?
About 36 million small businesses in the U.S., around 44% of the economy.
44%? The layer that got skipped is almost half the country.
That's the milestone framing for me. The biggest overlooked group finally getting tools designed for them.
Honestly, that earns the word milestone.
Okay, last story, and this one is slow. A guy in Florida pulled a record-breaking catfish out of a river.
Ooh, a fish story. I am ready.
The river is called the Suwannee, down in northern Florida. The angler's name is Justin Hodge.
Suwannee. That name is already very southern in my head.
Very quiet, very wide. And he caught a blue catfish that weighed 73.6 pounds.
73 pounds? That's the size of a person.
A small adult, basically, and almost 4 feet long.
4 feet! So when he pulled it up, it was as tall as a kid.
Pretty much. And his first reaction is the part I love. He honestly thought it was a sturgeon.
A sturgeon? So he couldn't even tell what kind of fish at first?
He couldn't. It was that big and that unexpected.
The line goes tight and your brain just blanks. Great moment.
Exactly. And the milestone part is the record itself, a new Florida state record for blue catfish.
By how much?
The old record was 69.5 pounds, so this one beat it by about 4 pounds.
4 pounds sounds small, but for a state record, that's a lot.
And here's the part that got me. The old record was set back in 2015.
Wait, 11 years ago? So that record stood for over a decade?
11 years. The river held on to this milestone quietly the entire time. And then one quiet morning, it just decided, okay, take it. Pretty much. He caught it back in February, and the Wildlife Commission certified it just last week. So it took a few months to make it official. They weigh it on a certified scale late at night at a boat ramp. Very ceremonial.
Midnight catfish certification, a sentence I never thought I would hear.
And here's the detail that softened my heart. Biologists estimated the fish at 55 to 60 years old.
55! So that fish has been in that river longer than most people have been alive.
Longer than the angler, for sure. It was already swimming around when his parents were in school. A whole life under the water, and one quiet morning, the line. That's beautiful. A milestone that took 55 years to surface. I'm going to think about that catfish all day. Okay, that was a layered Wednesday set. Let us recap.
Yes, please. My brain has been on a hike.
A new rocket about to launch as we speak, a Claude version built for 15-person businesses, and a catfish that finally broke an 11-year state record.
3 different scales, all hitting the same kind of moment.
Which brings us back to today's keyword, milestone.
I really like this one. It feels like something you can touch.
It does. The literal meaning comes from old roads, where stones marked every mile so travelers knew how far they had come.
Oh, I love that. A stone that says, you made it this far.
Exactly. We use it for any meaningful marker along a journey.
So, all 3 stories today were milestone moments.
The rocket is an engineering milestone, the Claude launch is a market milestone, and the catfish is a record milestone that took half a century to surface.
3 stones on 3 different paths. Tidy way to see today.
Try it this week, for big things or small ones. Finishing a tough book is a milestone, and so is running your first 5 kilometers.
I like that. It does not have to be huge, just worth marking.
Today's question, A, B, or C? A, the rocket launch, B, the Claude for small business, or C, the record catfish?
I'm torn between A and C. A for the real-time drama, C because that fish was older than the angler.
Mine is B, the 15-person heating company finally getting software that fits.
Yeah, that's very you, the quietly important kind.
Tell us your A, B, or C in the comments. We read every single one.
And if today's chat gave your Wednesday a little lift, hit subscribe so tomorrow's is ready.
Thanks for spending these 10 minutes with us. Have a steady, milestone-touching Wednesday.
See you tomorrow, everyone.